My original plan for this video was to share my appreciation for Gris and relate it to my experience with mental health. I wanted to make a point about how the colors used in the game serve as a reminder for me to make an effort to bring color back into my own world, akin to what I did with my Metroid Dread and Breath of the Wild videos. However, I wasn't really feeling it with this game, if that makes sense. I was inspired to make this video because I cried at the end, but I felt like I would need to force myself to make it, so I decided to cut it. But I figured I can still make a video discussing my favorite things about this gorgeous game. And let me say that again, this game is gorgeous. Before I do so, what is this game for those unfamiliar? Gris is a platform adventure game with some elements of a Metroidvania sprinkled in. It was developed by Spanish developer Nomada Studio. Initially released for the Switch, macOS, and Windows on December 13, 2018, you play as the eponymous Gris, who has recently lost her ability to sing, as she navigates a world initially void of color, working to bring that color back. The game won a handful of awards, including the Games for Impact Award at the 2019 Game Awards ceremony.
All right. The award for Games for Impact goes to... No, not geese. Gris! Gris!
I bought it on sale after the ceremony, left it on my Switch for 2.5 years, then played it in March of this year. That's really all you need to know. So here we are, in no particular order, my 12 favorite things about this game. 1. The way the game zooms out really far in certain areas, leaving Gris nothing but a small detail on the screen, allowing you to take in these large, sweeping, grand set pieces. And then the way it'll zoom back in and focus on her, oh, man, it's so good. 2. The water particles whenever Gris falls into a body of water. Like anything else, she makes a splash, yes, but the way you can still see little bubbles of water rising to the surface adds some realism to the stylized game. It's the small little details. 3. The way Gris's dress flows. Gris's dress is visually distinct from the rest of the area she traverses, sometimes due to its color contrasted against the background. It's beautifully animated. The way it flows as she runs, as she swims, as she slides, as she glides, as she falls. Oh! Especially when she falls from a great height and she hovers right before hitting the ground to break her fall. It's all so magical. Four, the way she does this little spin when jumping with the aid of the red butterflies. More specifically in this little section here. 5. Her voice. More specifically, Gris's singing voice. She regains the ability to sing after restoring the color yellow to the world. She can use it to solve puzzles and progress. During my first playthrough, I can remember taking a moment to stop and listen to her sing. It's really beautiful. Six, the sound design. As with the music in this game, the sound design is very ambient and unintrusive. It's gentle, taking your hand and showing you the wonders of this strange world that you are experiencing, from the footsteps Gris takes, to the crunching leaves, to the jingle of the constellations, the birds singing. Heck, even the more imposing or grand sounds like getting all the constellation in an area is so well done. Seven, speaking of the music, the soundtrack. I've listened to it after finishing the game while I read books and manga. The soundtrack reminds me of Breath of the Wild, where it's less concerned with epic sweeping scores and more so with a quiet, atmospheric take that complements the gameplay and sounds. The music can be calm and quiet, or loud and imposing. Even the music with vocals is so soothing. The acapella just grabs and holds me, telling me that it's all going to be okay, reminding me to take my time and sing. Berlinist, the Barcelona-based musical band responsible for the soundtrack, deserves all the credit they put into this game. 8. Speaking of the music, again, this moment here. Nine, the designs of the creatures you encounter. From these huge bird-like things, to the fish of the deep, to the rocks that move around, to the mechanical beings that aid Gris's platforming, they're all so mysterious and majestic, atypical in their design, and smooth in their animation. 10. The animation of the black goo. It's supposed to be intimidating and a constant threat when it shows up, but when it's around, man, if it isn't gorgeous to follow. The way it wraps around objects and takes form, the way the raven flaps its wings while having only a loose sense of form, or the way the doppelganger taking form flows like water and drips off of itself like ink. Oh man, it's so good! "11. The colors. Oh man, the colors! I can't tell you how many times I would come across a certain part of the stage and would audibly go, whoa. The game is absolutely gorgeous. The art style designed by Conrad Rosette is so stunning. The way his work meticulously blends ink with watercolor and how that's translated onto the screen. It's like I'm watching a living, breathing watercolor painting. Just look at it. "12. The names of the songs of the soundtrack. Save for a few, all of the names in the soundtrack are single-word titles. Some of them aren't even in English. To my knowledge and minimal research, they're in Japanese. And they translate to exactly what's happening on screen. Though, I don't speak Japanese, and I'm no linguist, so take this with a grain of salt. With that in mind, here are a few examples. Mei means the front. Incipit means the opening words of a text, manuscript, early printed book, or chanted liturgical text. Komorebi means when the sunlight shines through the leaves of trees. Karasu means raven or crow. Firmament, without being in another language, means the heavens or the sky, especially when regarded as a tangible thing. This fits perfectly with the level that it's used for. And that's about it. I could go on and talk about other things that I enjoy from this game, but it would start to get repetitive as they fall into the categories I've already mentioned here. My suggestion? Go experience the game for yourself. It's really short. You can complete it in about a few hours, so it's not that big of a commitment. So definitely give it a try. That's pretty much it for me. Thanks for watching my video. Check out some of my others and catch me on Twitch. But for now, have yourself a damn good one.